Okay, welcome back everybody. So now, just to recap. Step one, this might look like a lot of stuff to do, but it's not really. It's just spend a little bit of time on each of these and get your head around it, because a lot of people are doing the course, and I would say to them when I work with them in the beginning, why are you doing the course? And they go, you know? So they really haven't put much thought into this, they're just taking it on as another kind of interesting hobby. But it's a very dangerous book to be taken on as an interesting hobby, because it's going to open your mind to things that you really don't want to look at. Okay, so which path? Is it holy, spiritual, or psychology? Let me show you the three levels in this, okay? So, level one is the holiness. It's holiness because that's what we have been ingrained and conditioned with in our minds. Okay, level two is the psychology part of it, which brings you to the spirituality in the course, which is level three. So, what that means is, a lot of people are leaving religion and jumping to spirituality. They're making one fundamental error. They're not looking at level two. In my own journey, alright, I chose the path of the dark night of the soul, which meant that I lived for about 10 years engulfed in the shadow. No tools, I had no interest in spirituality, I wasn't trying to waken up, I wasn't trying to do anything. Okay? What I was trying to do basically, right, was, you know, have a successful life and try to be happy. And the more I tried to be happy, the more I was creating my persona. So what happened was, when all that pain started to build up and build up and build up, one night it just came to the point and I couldn't take it anymore. So I did something. And I didn't know that what I was doing at the time, it was kind of like something switched inside me. So I had a choice, and the choice was kill myself. Because the pain was that bad. And I couldn't do it because of my children, which left cause and effect. When I couldn't kill myself and I had no way out, I surrendered. Because when I chose not to kill myself, a new thought came in at that moment. And the thought was this, that I was doing this to myself. All my pain was my fault. Okay? I was creating my own suffering. And that thought had an effect. The effect of that thought was, if I was creating my own suffering, then I basically could uncreate it. I could let it go. And in that instant, I woke up. Why? Something took me in here, which opened the door. It was like pulling the bath, the stopper out of the bath. It all was washed away. Okay? So, step three, master the tools to get you to level two. I mastered 1, 2, responsibility. I took complete responsibility for everything in my life. All the pain, all the victimization, all the persecution, all the wrongs and rights that I believed had been done to me. A single truth must be made whole. Do you know what that means? You cannot take responsibility for this and not this. It's for all. It must be total. Because if you don't master responsibility, you ain't getting above this line. You ain't going anywhere. Simple as that. Okay? The price in here is 2 things. Complete responsibility and complete acceptance of what is. What is? What is? Anybody?
No.
And what else? Right. You've heard the term what is in spirituality. What's the meaning? You give it? Or what is you?
It means everything is the way they are. Everything is what it is. Not different than what we want it to be. It's not how we should think it should be. It just is what it is. It means accepting things as they are.
Right. Like I am, the I am. There's 2 basically what is this. There's 2 know thyself. All right? When people talk about what is, accept what is, it's, yes, of course, it's heaven, isn't it? That's what we couldn't accept. Is that how the whole story came? You know, Diane basically forced Roy to eat the apple.
I don't know, I think he did it willingly.
That's how rejection works. You know, one person blames the other person comes back with it. You know. Okay. So, you know,
So acceptance means accepting your suffering?
No, the acceptance is this, right? At this level, the acceptance of what is this. You accept this mindset. You accept, okay, there are people in the world attached to this mindset. And if you really want to do this, then you realize that everybody in the world is in this mindset.
So is the law of karma happening there at level 1?
Yes. If you can't accept something in this world, what do you do? You're putting it in here, isn't it? You see something in this world and you go, I don't believe that. You're saying it's wrong. What are you doing? Putting it in there. So you have to accept what is here first before you accept what is up here. It's the same as the I am. You must know who the I am not first, which is the separated self, before you get to the true I am. So, know thyself means know who you're not first. And in that knowing, you'll get to know your true self.
So, would you talk more about acceptance?
There's two acceptances.
Yeah.
You accept that this person, even if they're wrong, that they're right. Can you do that?
Explain that. Even though
Because if you don't, you're splitting your own mind. Right and wrong doesn't matter.
okay.
Good and bad doesn't
Because
matter.
you're going beyond the realm of right and wrong.
You're going above.
So you don't get stuck on judging, no, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, right. So the two things, first of all, here, right? Complete responsibility for everything in your life and everything in the world. So anybody that won't take responsibility for everything in the world? Josh? Does that seem to be asking too much?
Well, I mean, one thing you would take responsibility is your version of the world. So if you just change the version, then you don't have to take that responsibility for that.
Yeah, but can you take responsibility that everybody in the world is looking at the world from this perspective
Yeah. But,
or from this perspective? And neither is right or wrong or good or bad.
yeah, that I can accept.
Okay, that's what acceptance is here.
But that's where my guilt is coming from, because I blame myself for
Well, that's okay. Stop it.
No, I take too much responsibility, that's why so much guilt.
Okay, right with you. So, those are the first two priorities here, right? 1 and 2. There's 7 tools here, and I want you to master every one of them. Because these tools is taking you to here. I don't want you to focus on anything else. If you're serious about this, then in this process here, step 3, it's about acquiring and mastering these tools. Because you can only solve all of this from here. Okay? So your only priority is, okay, in step 3 is to get to level 2. Because if you still are trying to do spirituality and acquire knowledge and work out who's right and wrong and prove this person right or prove that, you're just basically repeating the same fundamental error over and over again. Any serious person who's doing the course, anybody who is in spirituality, it doesn't matter. This applies to everybody. You have to get to here to begin your work. So, complete responsibility, complete acceptance, and then the next one is, anybody give me one of there are 5 left? Anybody? Give me a tool.
Ambassador forgiveness.
God, you just all asleep? Nancy,
I don't know.
you have no tools.
Oh, well, forgiveness.
Well, wow! Wow!
That's a tool.
Yes. What is forgiveness? What's another name for forgiveness? If you're-
Detachment.
Detachment. You can use forgiveness if you are basically doing the Holy Book. Okay? And that's where forgiveness is in this level. Okay? You can do it in the spiritual book, so you can do detachment. And that's what psychology is. Psychology is correcting thoughts. And how we correct all our thoughts now is, yeah? This is the psychology part. All thoughts must be corrected. And that means they're reinterpreted.
So we constantly ask ourselves, is it true or is it false?
Exactly. That's it. And that takes you to level 2. That's the easiest way to get after you know, say if you don't want to take responsibility, you're not sure you're taking responsibility or acceptance. At least at this level now, look at everything through the mind of what's true and false. Remember, I looked at the video of Yogananda here in Los Angeles. And he moved into that stage where he basically began to see only what was real and the unreal. But he seen the unreal first. Why? Because he was looking from this level. What's real, what's illusion, the unreal. So you can look at any film, or look at anybody's journey, and you'll see exactly the levels that they are at on that journey by what they're teaching. Yeah? It's all symbolism. So, the third one is advanced true forgiveness, which is basically another way of saying advanced true detachment. It undoes judgment. Remember, judgment's on level 1. It takes full responsibility. And this is why it takes you into this mindset. Okay? So these are tools, these are ways of you getting to here. If you can spend every day at this level, you'll have a good life. You'll have a very good life. You know? So again, it's only about recalibrating your mind. It's only about correcting these thoughts. It's about letting all those thoughts go that you're attached to. The next one then is complete forgiveness. Complete forgiveness deals with the emotional pain body that we all experience. Do you experience it, Josh?
Yes,
Very much so.
yes.
And that's why your perspective is the way that you're looking at karma and the way that you're looking at life. Because when pain comes into the body, we do one thing automatically. Anybody?
Try to ease it.
Contract, shut it down.
Project it out.
We look for somebody to blame. And we'll either, if we can't find anybody to blame, we'll blame ourselves. Okay? Pain comes in, we look for a rationalization to keep it. So if you believe that you have karma because you have done something to someone else, you're rationalizing your pain, Josh, and that means you're going to keep it. And you'll keep it for a long time, as long as you keep rationalizing it. The only way we can let pain go is to reinterpret it. So where does pain come from, Josh? To reinterpret pain, where would it come from?
I don't know.
Is it true or false?
Pain? It feels true, but if you have this perspective, then it's false.
Yes. When you're experiencing pain, you can just look at that pain you're experiencing now without going into anything else. And just absorb this pain and say, this is not true. This is not of God. This is not real. You're here. You're looking at this. But the problem then is that pain will bring you back down here again because you're attached to it. So that's why in complete forgiveness, if you can master that tool, everybody, it's like everybody here thinks. Is that right, Roy?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure everybody here feels pain. There's nobody here that doesn't feel pain. So, again, it's all about reinterpretation of that pain. Complete forgiveness is where you absorb the pain. I think it was Carl Jung that says, when depression knocks at the door, invite her in. Become one. You know what that means?
Acceptance.
Yes. Anything you're not willing to accept, you're pushing into the bad room.
So one tool that I use now is sometimes I'll do this like a mantra, I forgive myself. Is there something else that you can do?
Well, you see, you can keep doing that, Josh, but you're holding on to the story, and as long as you hold on to the story, you're going to keep repeating that mantra. And I bet you've been doing that. Yeah?
Yeah, without success.
Yeah, well, it's no wonder. Look at the entire story. Be willing to let the story go.
Okay.
Remember, forgiveness is about detachment. One part of you, right, believes in karma. The other part is trying to detach from it. You can see the problem. You trying the mantra here is creating more of the pain here. So it's kind of, that's what rationalization does. It replenishes this. Remember, this is an illusion of two rooms. It's only one room. You know, in reality. So this is why the illusion of good thoughts and the illusion of being good and the illusion of being nice is bloody only an illusion. You know, it's the ego's version of heaven, the persona. But you can't be in the persona in the good room without fear. So, complete forgiveness is about you becoming one with the pain body, invite that pain in, become one with it, and reinterpret it. And your simple reinterpretation of any pain, it's the same with guilt or fear, is this is not true. This is not real. Because the moment pain comes into the body, we just look for somebody to blame. That's the ego.
So that includes all illness as well?
Everything. The fifth one is simple forgiveness. So advanced forgiveness basically takes you from here to here. Okay? When you awaken up here, alright, you still, if you're in a body, you'll still be doing things here in the world. So it could be very, very easy for you to become attached to a little thing here or there. So you'll know in an instant, anything that takes your peace away, you become attached to it. Simple forgiveness is 3 little steps. Recognize, correct, and release. And that keeps you on level 3. But don't apply simple forgiveness until you apply ATF and understand it well first. The next tool then is basically self-empowerment. Self-empowerment is a very, very important tool for the higher self because it's letting go of the false self. So when you go through those steps in self-empowerment, there are 5 of them, they take you into the right mind. It's another way of becoming right-minded. And then the 7th and the last one of all, 6 was self-empowerment. So yeah, simple forgiveness was 5, self-empowerment 6. 7 basically then is, at this point you're either here or here. So all you have to do now is master a life of non-attachment.
Which was Buddha's teaching.
Was it?
Buddha's teaching was detachment.
Yeah.
All
Well,
suffering is caused by attachment.
Well, all spirituality is detachment at the end of the day. Like, and that's what the Course is, that's what forgiveness is. If you took one word to apply to the Course, you would say forgiveness, which actually means detachment. It's that simple. So these are the tools that's going to get you to level 2. Okay? So what happens when we get to level 2? What do most people do when they get to level 2?
Start detaching.
No, they do not. They keep looking up. Not true? It's in our nature because we don't want to look at this. The whole point of getting to here is to look down now and start working on this. Yeah?
That's what they call embodiment.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm just so happy that you're here, Roy. Okay. Because you have a wealth of knowledge and you're, because these are symbols, like, at the end of the day. So, the work now begins after step 3. You've got to hear. So again, if you were starting out in the Course, these are the things I would suggest that you start to learn first. Because if you start going into the Course without, say, looking at the Course from this perspective, then what are you doing? You're taking everything in the Course and you're putting it into these 2 rooms. Oh, I like this in the course. Oh, I don't like that in the course. Everybody takes all the special things out of the course. Like Ken Wapnick used to say, like, you know, everybody reads the course, and when they come to it, the ego's talking about guilt and all the hate and the self-hate and everything, everybody skips over it and just keep going to the nice bits. And Ken used to say that people used to always want to talk about the nice bits. No one wanted to talk about here. Why? Because all they keep them doing is, this is the stuff they don't want to look at. This is the self-hate. You know, this is everything that's wrong in my life is in here. And I only want to look at all this beautiful stuff up here. And even there's levels, there's 2 more levels on top of that, which is Christ in heaven. So people who are doing the course, they're just looking up at these levels, and this is where Jesus talks about level of confusion also. So the only thing you have to focus on is here. These 2 here. Get to here, now your work begins. Okay? So that brings us to step 4.